What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video we are at Sioux Falls Regional Airport for the 25th airport update for the month of March 2022. Now last month I said that it was the 25th airport update when in reality that was the 24th, so I miscounted there. Went so long without a miscount on the airport update numbers, but finally happened back in February 2022, but it was a good streak while it lasted. But this is the actual 25th airport update, so we are a quarter of the way to 100 airport updates for Sioux Falls Regional Airport, if we even make it to that point. I don't know if we will, but it would be cool if we did. Getting sidetracked there, so sorry about that, but we're going to go ahead and get this airport update underway. The Delta Connection CRJ200 has not yet landed in my collection as I record this. It is second day of March. Gemini Jets just dropped the pictures on this very day, so hopefully I will have the Delta Connection CRJ200 in by the April airport update for Sioux Falls. So it's a really critical asset for Sioux Falls because we get them on a daily basis. I think like twice daily, I think. So it would be nice to have that in my collection, but probably with my luck they're going to stop sending those and then they're going to send something else like an Embraer 175 or something, which would be nice if we got those. We don't get those regularly, so hopefully that is not too far out. But anyways, we're going to get this airport update started here. At gate number 4, we have this Delta 717. This aircraft arrived in on a flight from Atlanta, flight 2455 at 8:25 p.m., significantly delayed from a 7:24 p.m. scheduled arrival, and that is an hour and 1 minute delay. 61 minutes for this aircraft. Only aircraft in this airport update that does not have ground service equipment surrounding them, or GSE. So just kind of resting here. Really the only thing to mention in terms of ground vehicles is just the pushback tug, which is pretty standard here. On all of my airport updates, I just put it at every gate that I can, but I only have so many, so not every gate's going to get one, and hopefully I will be able to pick up some. So by the time that this video goes out, I will have already made my trip to Minneapolis, including a visit to DG Pilot. As I record this, obviously it is before I go on the trip. I go on the very next day that I record this, so I don't know if I will be able to get ground vehicles. I checked their website. They said they didn't have any in stock on their website, so not sure if that applies to their physical store that they have in downtown St. Paul. So if I'm able to get another set of ground vehicles, I will definitely do that because I do like to have as much ground vehicles as I possibly can just to make sure that there's enough for my airport updates. But yeah, that's all I have for this aircraft. We'll move over to gate number 1. At gate number 1, we have this Allegiant Airbus A320, a very usual visitor here at Sioux Falls, but this Las Vegas flight, which is flight 28 here on the flight radar 24, usually our Las Vegas flights are operated on Airbus A319s, but it looks like this time around it got an upgrade to an Airbus A320 with sharklets, so that's really nice. This aircraft arrived in at 2:39 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 2:46 p.m. arrival. And another thing that I want to mention here, this is not applying to Sioux Falls, but it does apply for my Des Moines airport updates, which I did last week. I did not mention this because I had filmed it before the announcement was made, but there is new service out of Des Moines to New York City, Newark. So mainly Newark, New Jersey. They are apparently doing something out there in Newark now. So new service for Des Moines, pretty much a near direct connection to the East Coast, which hopefully Sioux Falls picks up on that because we don't have any direct East Coast flights. The closest is Charlotte, though I think that stuff is not really showing up anymore. I have not seen it on the flight tracker lately. I think it's a seasonal only flight, so we only see it during certain times of the year. But it would be nice to have East Coast flights out to like New York or something, or Boston or whatever it is, that it could potentially be later down the road. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come for us. And then the other 2 routes that were announced, Idaho Falls to Santa Ana, Orange County, and Las Vegas to Orlando, Sanford, which will be their longest route in their network. I think it's close to like 2,000 miles. I'll pop up the exact length of that flight up on your screen so you can kind of get an understanding of how long it is. And I think for retrospect, if I put it in retrospect, their previous longest flights was when they used to fly 757s out to Hawaii, which they don't have those anymore, and I don't think they have Hawaii service anymore. So this Las Vegas to Orlando hub connecting flight, if you will be their new longest service within their network. Great to see Delta Mainline still maintaining their presence here at the Sioux Falls Regional Airport. Sitting here at gate number 3 is this Delta Airbus A319, arriving in on a flight from Minneapolis, flight 1540 at 7:48 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 8:05 p.m. arrival. Our second Minneapolis flight, Delta Mainline flight, I should say. That used to be on an A320, but as of late, as I've checked Flight Radar quite recently, that looks to also be an Airbus A319. So a little bit less of seats, but we still get that thrice daily-ish Delta Mainline service. And in fact, that second flight arrives, I think, after midnight on some days. So Just kind of depends on when it's scheduled and all that fun stuff. So great to see Delta Mainline still maintaining a good presence here in my hometown. So hopefully that does continue, as we do kind of want that Delta Mainline, especially the stuff heading down to Atlanta, since it does not seem like that Delta connection is going to be returning here, at least on that Atlanta route, I don't think. So yeah, great to see them, and we'll move on to the next aircraft. Got some good regional jet action going on here at the end of the terminal here, but we'll pop on down over to gate number 5, where we have this Mesa CRJ 900. It's been a little while since I've used this aircraft, so great to see that this has made a return. Arriving on a flight from Dallas-Fort Worth International, flight 5810, operated by Mesa Airlines, obviously, because this is a Mesa Airlines house livery, at 9:30 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 9:47 p.m. arrival, and this exact aircraft was November 9025 Foxtrot Juliet, and the one that I'm representing here is, I think, 939er Lima Romeo. So regardless, still nice to see the Mesa house livery, just bringing a little bit of variety here into the Sioux Falls Airport updates. I did see that Mesa has like a 737 freighter now, which is kind of interesting. Obviously, we don't get 737 freighters here, at least not yet. Amazon's new facility on the northwest side of Sioux Falls, I'm not sure if that's going to draw in some Amazon Prime Air flights, because I know they have service out to Minneapolis, I think. They send a couple Prime Air stuff, and then Sun Country, I think, also operates some 737 freighters for Prime Air, so it'll be interesting to see if I end up seeing those while I'm in town, so that'll be kind of interesting to see how that plays out. And obviously with the Amazon warehouse here in Sioux Falls, so I'm not sure they'll bring in some Prime Air stuff. As of right now, I've not heard anything, so I doubt that's going to change anytime soon, so I don't know, maybe it will later down the road. And finally, to round out the aircraft at the passenger terminal here at gate number 7, we have this United Express CRJ 200 in the Evo Blue colors. This aircraft arrived in on a flight from Denver, flight 5378, at 4:23 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 4:42 p.m. arrival. And I do want to mention that we are getting United Mainline on Airbus A320s, and since I don't have a United A320, I cannot represent that here in this update. So hopefully, Gemini Jets will do a United A320 in the Evo Blue livery at some point, because I do need that. I do have that 319, and it'd be nice to use that as a substitute for an A320, but then it'd just be pointless then, because then it just looks like an A319, so that's why I don't have United Mainline here in this update, but we are still getting them. It seems to be kind of like an on and off situation thing, so sometimes we'll get it, other times we won't, so I don't know, it just kind of goes on and off at times, but yeah. That is everything here at the passenger terminal. We got a few aircraft at the cargo section to look at, and then we'll round out the update. First up at the cargo ramp, we have this FedEx Airbus A300. Nice to use this model once more. This aircraft arrived in from Memphis, flight 735, a very usual flight from Memphis, at 6:46 p.m., a little bit delayed from a 6:19 p.m. scheduled arrival. That's about, I think, 27 minutes of a delay there for this aircraft. Next up in line, we have this UPS Boeing 757-200 freighter. This aircraft arrived in on a flight from Louisville, flight 2572, at 6 p.m. ahead of a scheduled 6:05 p.m. arrival. So arrived at 6 o'clock, right on the dot. The FedEx ATR has returned once again. Nice to use this aircraft once again in an airport update, but it arrived in from Indianapolis, flight 8378, at 7:02 p.m., a little bit behind a 6:49 p.m. scheduled arrival. And that will do it for this update. So another good Sioux Falls Airport update, a quarter of the way to 100 airport updates. Not sure if we're ever going to get there, but if we do, that will be awesome, and I'll definitely compile together just kind of the evolution of my channel, and obviously with the Sioux Falls Airport updates, and just kind of seeing how aircraft have changed over the years. So I'm kind of thinking about doing maybe a retro Sioux Falls Airport update, but the problem is information on like aircraft and like flight timetables and all that stuff. It's kind of limited going back to like to the 90s and before, so perhaps doing a retro Sioux Falls Airport update would be a little bit off of my league, but I'd definitely be up for the challenge. I do have some stuff in the 90s that I could do for like a circa 1999 to 2005 Sioux Falls Airport update. I probably have to redo the terminal a little bit, or not like redo it, but just like make a new one from scratch or something. Just kind of use it as like a one-off update, because the terminal used to be a little bit different before like 2012 or something. They did some renovations inside, and it looks much nicer now. And then obviously in like the last year or so, they did make this extra addition, like a de-icing area, and then just kind of adding some new taxiway markings and redoing some of the gate markings. So let me know if that's something you'd like to see, a retro Sioux Falls Airport update. I do have some of the aircraft necessary for it, but I'll still need to acquire a couple more yet before I can commit to doing it, so that probably won't be until maybe like 2023 or so, or even later, before I end up doing a retro Sioux Falls Airport update. But I don't know, if I'm able to acquire it much sooner than I expected, I'll definitely be up for the challenge a bit sooner than anticipated. So yeah, again, I'm pre-recording this a bit ahead of time. I'm recording this ahead of time because of my Minneapolis trip, and I just want to make sure I can have this recorded before I depart for my big trip. And I'll probably have a lot of content coming from them. By the time this comes out, a majority of that content will be out. There might still be a couple of videos that I'll have left to get posted and get them all scheduled. But again, make sure to make sure to follow me wherever I have a presence on social media, and I'll try to provide updates as best I can regarding Minneapolis trip content. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.